Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing my Golden Max Regera in multiplayer in Asphalt 9. I'll be testing this car both in Slipstream and in a regular season, so you can see how it performs in the two different situations. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and be sure to check out my Furum Clips channel as well as my new Furum TV channel and my Purple Team Discord. You can find the links to those down in the description, and I hope you enjoyed the video. So, the first three races in the video were recorded back in the Ghost Slipstream season that happened a little while ago, and then the final three were recorded in a more recent regular season. Because a lot of people think that the Regera is only really viable in some sort of Ghost Slipstream season due to its high top speed but low nitro efficiency and not the most amazing handling. And this is true to some extent. The car is better in Slipstream, it is more reliable because the slightly lower acceleration and the low nitro efficiency kind of make it a great candidate for being a little bit behind in the beginning and then using the Slipstream of other cars in order to catch up and get ahead. Kind of like how I've done in this race here. But as you will see, also in the regular season, it takes a bit more work, it is not quite as consistent, but you can do well, especially on certain tracks in the Regera there too. Especially though if you are good at driving these high top speed cars. In this race here, we barely beat this other Regera after a bit of a hiccup toward the end of the race around that corner. Spun one too many times, which was kind of based on a mistake on my part. I should not have 360'd going off that ledge there. Now in this next race, we are facing a Tri-Nemesis as well as a couple other cars on Osaka, and it looks like we have another Regera here as well. This is one of those cars that has a fairly steep learning curve due to its high top speed and low other stats nature, but once you get it up to, I'd say 4 stars or above, and you get a lot of practice in it, it definitely can become quite the beast. I had this car at 4-star for a long time, from its very first special event. And I made a video, maybe a couple of videos about it there, and it was okay, but I never really used it all that much because it just wasn't super reliable for me. Well, recently, Gameloft has been rerunning older special events like they did with the Sheeran, where I gold maxed that car, and then most recently, they brought back the Regera special event a couple of months ago, I think at this point, and I was able to gold max it there too. I just barely had enough epics to do that though. I was missing I think one, and I was able to buy it either in the Legend store or I got it at the very end of the special event. Don't quite remember, but it was a close one. Just like this race was a close one with this Tri-Nemesis and the Regera. All of us came in like within a 1/10 of a second of each other, with the poor Cyan several seconds behind. If you get a higher top speed track, such as, well, I wouldn't really consider New York like a super high top speed track, but it does have some long straight bits that kind of lend itself somewhat well to cars like the Regera, especially in Ghost Slipstream. Now, on other tracks, I will say, the Regera does not do quite as well. If you get a track like the Caribbean, for example, or Auckland, the Regera is not going to be your strongest competitor. Even at max, where its drifting and acceleration, everything are decent, its nitro efficiency just isn't really enough in a lot of situations where you have a lot of tight curves to be able to keep the car at a high enough speed throughout the track such that you're actually able to beat lower top speed cars that, say, drift better and accelerate better. Because, you know, a lot of the times I was able to get ahead on tracks like those, but then around the curves I'd fall behind. But thankfully, in this race and in some of the previous ones, I was able to pull a bit away. And I will say, the Regera is a fairly stable car. It is better on wall rides than the Sheeran is, which is quite nice. It definitely does not drift as well as the Sheeran, and I would not say it is as fun to drive, and it isn't actually quite as good as the Sheeran in general. You guys know probably that a while back, well, if you've been on the channel for a while, about 3 years ago, I made a video comparing my 4-star Regera with my 4-star Sheeran. I think the Sheeran won on like 4 of 5 tracks or something like that. Let me know if you'd be interested in perhaps a rerun of that with my new Golden Max Regera and Sheeran, because I'm curious to know how they do against each other as well. I don't expect a lot would change, but surprises do happen, such as in this race here. where I've gotten ahead of 2 Sheerans at this point in the race, gotten over to the left of them, did the wall ride there, and bit of a bouncy car situation at this point, but thankfully I was in Shockwave, and the car's Shockwave is long enough at this star count such that you're actually able to avoid knockdowns a bit better in situations like those, and I was able to get ahead. Now keep in mind, this is one of the best tracks for the Regera. I might go so far as to say it is the very best track, the very best variant for the Regera in the game. And as such, even though it's not Ghost Slipstream, I'm able to keep a high top speed for a lot of the race, and you will see that this is a continuing trend, as which are the races that I was able to do well in the Regera in. The next race is on Nevada, which is a similar situation to New York, where it does have some twisty bits, but it does have some long sections where the Regera's high top speed can definitely come into play for a long time. And as you can see in this race, there are slower cars such as Huracans and the Aventadors, and even this F1 LM here, which are getting ahead of me in these beginning few sections. But once we get to the straighter section on the bridge later on, and even here, I'm just able to bypass these guys due to all of the ramps and the momentum from them. And even at this point, I'm now into second position or so, just 35 seconds into the race, with this Rimac, I believe, right up ahead. And I'm 50% of the way through the race now, but this is the part of the track where the Regera will really shine, even if you are not in Slipstream. And as you can see, I'm catching up to this Rimac Concept 1 quite quickly at this point. In other Asphalt news, the Aperta special event is going on right now. I've been keeping up with that. I don't know if I'll be able to 6-star the Aperta through the event. I might try buy some blueprints for it to fully 6-star it out. Not entirely sure about that yet, but I really do like the Aperta. I have it currently around 5.5 stars or so, and the event will definitely help, at least with the blueprints. Also, the Drive Syndicate 5 is going on, and I've made a bit of a mistake there. So I mistakenly thought, for whatever reason, that the Desir was 5 stars when I was going through it, and I upgraded it to 3 stars. Well, you really only need to upgrade it to 2 stars in order to get through the Drive Syndicate because, well, you only have to be 2 stars away from the top star count of the car in order to get fully through it. So I should have just 2-starred it and moved on. Well, unfortunately, because I 3-starred it, I spent a bit too many Syndicate coins on that car's packs, did not have quite enough left for the Murcielago, and now I'm stuck with a 2-star, almost 3-star Murcielago with just, I want to say like 5 blueprints to go, but barely any more Syndicate coins. I've spent 6,000 tokens on all the relay packs at this point, and so it's just annoying getting so few cars at so little stars after spending so many tokens on the event. I'm not going to be making a separate video about this Drive Syndicate, but rest assured, it's just as bad as the previous ones, unfortunately. And in the final race of the video, we do beat a Venom F5. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do like the video if you have enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt, Forza, Minecraft, and other games content. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.